Dub Nation, this is why you subscribe to Golden State Warriors Today. Harrison Graham and Chase Sr. Chase, we're going to break it down in a second. The Warriors have signed another player, but we actually just dropped another video. They should go check that out after this one.
Yeah, check that out as well. Warriors Today has been humming. Talked about Jordan Poole, that contract extension that's looming. Could it be a max deal worth around $100 million? We covered that, as well as all of the latest around Kevin Durant. Help continue to make the Warriors channel here at Chat Sports the most watched Warriors channel in the entire world on YouTube by hitting that sub button down below. And for now, let's talk about Mac McClung.
The newest member of the Golden State Warriors is Summer League and G League phenom Mac McClung, signing a non-guaranteed one-year deal, according to Shams Charania of The Athletic. Chase, G League Rookie of the Year last year. Now he's a part of the Warriors. He'll get a chance to compete for a roster spot.
Good for him, honestly. And he didn't play with the Lakers any longer in the Summer League and went to the Golden State Warriors because there were other players in front of him on that Lakers depth chart. That's a bad job by Los Angeles for a player who has a lot of potential. And I said it at the time right here on Warriors Today that by bringing in Mac McClung, it's a really nice pickup for the Warriors. And he ended up playing really well in the Summer League. We'll relay his stats of what he was able to do with the Dubs in Las Vegas following the California Classic with Los Angeles coming up here in a little while. This is a player with a lot of ability, a lot of pedigree. He was a YouTube high school legend, throwing down these infamous hammers in front of these raucous environments at the high school level. 5-star recruit. Plays nearby at Georgetown as he grew up in Virginia for Patrick Ewing and ended up having a pretty solid career. Ends up transferring to Texas Tech, plays under Chris Beard, and was pretty solid there. If he came out a year earlier, probably would have been drafted. Doesn't get drafted, goes to the G League, and under the Lakers umbrella, wins G League Rookie of the Year, and had a really impressive season. And then throughout the Summer League play with the Warriors, I thought he displayed a lot. He's a little bit undersized at that guard spot, but he's able to make up for it with really good athleticism. He had this innate ability to finish around the rim, whether it be up and unders, and using that explosiveness to kind of arc the ball over guys. Good passing ability. Operated a little two-man game with James Wiseman. Needs to become a better three-point shooter, but this is really a great player who, once again, you can enter in your player development program, and he can compete for a backup guard spot on this Warriors roster. Some details on the deal. It is going to be a standard non-guaranteed deal, not an Exhibit 10. That gives him an opportunity to make the Warriors roster out of training camp. He didn't have that opportunity with the Lakers. He has it now with the reigning NBA champions.
Yeah, you talk about what he did in the Summer League this year, Chase. 13.5 points, just under 5 assists. You talk about that passing ability. Certainly brings a little bit of that distribution to the table. I think the key for him moving forward in the NBA is something you alluded to as well. Can he become at least a league average three-point shooter? 35, 36% from three. I think if he could get to that level, he's going to have a chance because he's a good athlete. I think he's got some of the tools to at least be an average defender as well due to that athleticism. Should be able to stay in front of opposing players. So I think this is an intriguing move, and I think you think about some of the guys the Warriors have found in the past, right, Chase? I mean, just Gary Payton this last year, right? I don't know if he has quite the tools of a Payton, but it's not like GP2 was his pops in terms of ability. He was able to come in here, develop, and get a big contract with Portland. Not saying that's going to happen here with Mac McClung, but the Warriors have identified these guys in the past. Juan Toscano Anderson's another good example of an under-the-radar player that has found his way in the NBA. Maybe Mac McClung is the latest player to come into this program, Chase, and become a solid NBA player.
Yeah, do you think Mac McClung is going to make the opening night roster for the Warriors and be a part of this regular season rotation? Give us a Y for yes in the comment section and N for no. Now, as far as what McClung was able to do more so in Las Vegas, played a lot for the Dubs, and I love the experience that he was able to establish alongside James Wiseman as well as Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga. 24.5 points per night, so he was their starting point guard. 13.5 points per game, as Harrison had said. He shot 45.5% from the field, and 50% from three. So
like that.
us talking about those three-point numbers, can he become better? Hopefully. Now, the sample size is very minimal, 2.5 three-point attempts per game. I'd like to see him get to the free throw line a little bit more. He did shoot 82% from the free throw line and dished out a little less than 5 dimes, 1 steal per game, and he's only 23 years old. So you said earlier, like, can he become a Gary Payton type player? He's not going to be the Gary Payton II prototype who last year led the NBA in steals per 36 minutes. He's a different player. Now, athletically, he can do a lot of the same things as Gary Payton. He's not the defender of GP2. But the point here being that Harrison was making, you add him into this culture, you add him into this system, you continue to develop him, and over time, can he become a regular rotation player for this Warriors team in the regular season, and then at points give you some minutes in the playoffs? That's really what this comes down to. And I said it at the time back a couple weeks ago after Mac McClung had gone off for 25 plus points or whatever it was. He has a realistic shot of cracking an NBA roster. He is capable of being a backup NBA point guard. And on this team right now, you parted ways with Chris Chiozza, so he's not going to be on this team any longer. He did occupy a roster spot on this team for a little while over the last couple of years. So could McClung be that type of guy? He's a much better player than Chris Chiozza. Now, I have said in the past, like, best case scenario, can he be a former undrafted guy like Alex Caruso? Caruso has really developed over time since coming out of Texas A&M. Caruso is an elite level defender. McClung kind of lacks that, but he is a better offensive player and more gifted on that end as compared to Caruso.
All I know about the Warriors, Chase, is they're really good at finding these, I don't want to say underlooked, but these
diamonds in the rough.
These players who have tools but haven't put it all together, and they're like, okay, we'll bring this guy into our system and see if we can develop him. Mac McClung has enough raw ability to be an NBA player. Now, it's a totally different story to actually put that all together and become that, but we've talked about the athleticism, the ball handling, the vision as a passer, hopefully improving that shot that which we saw in the Summer League. Obviously, totally different level of competition. But I like this for the Warriors. I like this for Mac McClung. I think for a guy to come into a winning organization like this and be around guys like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, these guys who have played at the highest level and won at the highest level, that can only bode well for his chances in his NBA career long term, whether it's going to be with the Warriors or someone else. But like you said, the Warriors bench guards, not super deep after guys like Jordan Poole. So we'll see if McClung can crack this roster and potentially even earn some minutes this upcoming season.
Yeah, great how he played in the Summer League and then the signing in general, A, B, C, D, or F. I thought he played really well. And at the very least, even if he's a training camp body, you know what he does? Adds to the championship, just competitive nature of this Warriors organization. You have him on the practice floor offensively. With that athleticism, that burst, that jumping ability, he offers you a good competitive player to go up against and better yourself if you're an individual on this Warriors roster. So that's why we're fans of it. And yes, he may have never become the superstar player that he was pegged to be during his high school days, where he was breaking YouTube records and throwing down these just unbelievable flushes. But he can become a rotational piece, and the Warriors have a need for a rotational point guard.
So, Mac McClung, the newest member of the Warriors, as he will battle for a roster spot. Quick reminder to subscribe. We're about 100 subscribers away from what's the next milestone? 43,000 subscribers. Help us get there. We'll pin in the comments down below the video that went out about an hour ago. When you're now watching this, go check out that video after you watch the completion of this one. We would appreciate that. And we'll see you next time on Warriors Today.